Sea, Sex and Sun for ANORA from Sean Baker presented in the competition. And we have the Photocall, Sean Baker, the filmmaker who's on the sort of margins with small budgets, works with small budgets. He's got a bigger budget here, but the cinema is still a step aside. And so this is the story of ANORA, a striptease artist from Brooklyn who becomes a modern-day Cinderella when she meets the son of a Russian oligarch. So there we have the director with his sunglasses, Sean Baker, who is known for Tangerine, one of the first films made with a smartphone, 3 smartphones, and again a sort of Cinderella story, a transgender Cinderella. A film with Mikey Madison, who was much noted yesterday. And here she is. A lot of applause yesterday at the screening. The press says a wonderful odyssey of the Nippos of capitalism. With ANORA, Sean Baker transforms excess. It is from Libé. It's a film that's packed with energy and that's really carried forward by Mikey Madison, who we can see here with her director and with Yuri Borisov on her right, on her left rather. For Humanité is a feminist comedy with a good dose of trashy humor. And it's a very funny film, but not just, there's almost 3 films in one here. It begins like Pretty Woman, a Pretty Woman 2.0, and then we go to the Coen brothers, a bit of Fargo in there with these losers that get into all sorts of misadventures. But she is Mickey Madison. She's the woman who really drives the whole thing forward, both the actress and the character. So this young stripper from Brooklyn. Sean Baker is, of course, Red Rocket, The Florida Project with Willem Dafoe, and the story of this girl and her mother, this penniless family, a very stylized film. And Tangerine that I mentioned just before. And so he likes to explore marginalization, people living, people who are excluded. And here with his actress, Mikey Madison, who was in Scream 5. And it was when he saw her in the screening on the opening weekend, it's there that Sean Baker called her agent to take her on board for this film about this escort from Brooklyn who lives a love story, perhaps, with the young son of a Russian oligarch in his big villa. She worked on her accent a lot. She worked with a dialect coach to get the right accent, to have the to get a New York accent, to get an authentic New York accent. And the director was very specific in what he wanted in terms of the accent. Here's Mark Edelstein and Yuri Borisov. Yuri Borisov, you might have seen him in Compartment Number 6. From Johu Kosmanen, this young Finnish woman who's going into the north of Finland on a train, and she shares the compartment number 6, with an unknown, with a stranger. A beautiful film. But Yuri Borisov is also a star of Russian cinema, action films. There's Mark Edelstein, who plays the son of the Russian oligarch. He had to take an accent as well. So a great cast for ANORA by Sean Baker, So the blend between Pretty Woman, the Coen brothers, and the Sean Baker touch that's in there as well, a filmmaker of life on the edge. So this young striptease artist from Brooklyn who is a modern day Cinderella. He'd already treated the idea of Cinderella. The Cinderella treatment was in Tangerine with a transsexual prostitute, a film that was made using smartphones. ANORA by Sean Baker with the wonderful Mikey Madison. The Best Actresses Awards are stacking up there. There's a lot of candidates, but she is a good candidate, I would think. Mikey Madison in Scream 5. And she had a role in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was in The Addams Family. And it's when Sean Baker saw her in Scream that he said that he came out of nowhere, came out of the blue, as she said, to ask her to be in the film. She said it's the biggest emotional and physical preparation she's had to make for a character when preparing for this film. And she comes from California, and so she has a Californian accent with a Californian lilt, and she had to take on a Brooklyn accent. And she says, as a Californian, I've got my little upward inflection at the end that people don't have in New York. So it's difficult for some people to see the difference, but she really worked very, very hard on getting the Brooklyn accent right. It's a film which talks about the relationships between America and Russia as a sort of an underlying theme. One of the opening scenes, I'm not giving anything away, but one of the opening scenes is very striking for this. So the oligarch goes into the strip joint and she dances and he's there and he says, "God bless America." Sean Baker, director of ANORA, the film in competition this year in Cannes, but also he made The Prince of Broadway, Starlet, Tangerine, which was very moving at the time because he had a transgender actress as the lead actress, and as well it was very striking because it was made using smartphones. Sean Baker, of course, is The Florida Project too, and Red Rocket. He likes looking at people who are on the edges of society. He quotes Ken Loach and Jim Jarmusch as being influences. So there's nothing, we don't know yet when the film's going to be released in France, but it will be released, but we haven't got any dates yet.